There's a storm coming. And it's supposed to hit tomorrow. RH here. I'm out on the back porch. Can't see a lot in the distance, but raining. Had some wind last night, and it's supposed to really pick up. In fact, the winds on the peaks here and the hills could reach 100 miles an hour. Well, when you're going to try to weather a storm, you got to do what you can. Got to build while you can build, plan while you can, prepare. Year before last, the storm blew off this whole porch. We had a steel porch here. Steel pillars, steel porch, about 60-something feet long. And this is what I rebuilt in its place. I'm going to give you a quick view on that. So when you're building for the storm, you got to think about what it's going to take to get through that storm. Here in the porch, it's kind of a very unusual structure. You'll note the unusual springs and the shock absorber. This porch is cantilevered. It's set up to where these members here can flex and lift up, so I can get over like 3 inches of lift on this side. So when the big winds come and they buffet this thing up, it'll push it up and it won't hit those big impulse functions. It won't break apart and rip the steel beams out. The last porch didn't have any flex. It didn't have any give. And the wind pounded on it, boom, 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 and it ripped it off. This whole porch flew up in the air, went over the house. The winds here on the adjacent hill were over 100 miles an hour. On our hill, they funneled right up this draw, looking right down here. The trees, the bushes here, they were trees. They're tree bushes and blackberries, but the wind funneled right up through this, right up against the porch. Just ripped it right out. Well, it blew 300 feet, went over the house, didn't rip the house up, just ripped it right from its moorings. Right from along here, just had to replace all that, and a bunch of tiles up there, ripped all that out. Just took the whole thing and lifted it up, carried it over to some trees over there about 300 feet on the other side of the house, and then fell down to the ground there. So this is how I built up this last summer. I'm going to see if it's going to withstand the winds tomorrow. I mean, I'm not really concerned about that. I think the design's quite sound. Here's another factor I put in. These little winglets here. They kind of act like skylights. So even where the light comes in, these are set up that when the wind blows, they push open. Let the light come down and the rain right on my camera. Good going. So the storm can blow by. It's compliant, it's flexible. And then it comes back down. Are you compliant? Are you flexible when the storms beat on your life? There is a storm coming. Physically, one coming here. And there's one coming, well, in the future for all of us. We don't know if it's this upcoming thing, if it's something actually going to happen with Russia. I don't know. But who have you put your trust in? And how have you prepared? And I hope that all of us will take it seriously, get ready in every way that we can. One of the things, here you'll see these posts, these steel posts. See, they're anchored to not only the porch, but then they go down in the ground, and they go down 3 feet, and there's a few cubic feet of concrete at each post. Concrete down on each one, so they're sunk down there like we got 3 feet down on each one of these. They can't easily pull up. So we need to be anchored. We need to be anchored in the storm. So this is anchored there, and we've got anchors in the middle. Do you have an anchor? Do you have an anchor to weather the storms ahead? I came from an atheist household. I grew up without that kind of an anchor. Yeah, it was science that brought me to the Bible, and the Bible that brought me to the Lord. So I just a suggestion for those of you out there is to look for the things that are real. Search out the truth. I hope you check out the Bible. There's another storm that may be just on the horizon. We don't know. Some say war is imminent. I know there's always things that wars and rumors of wars, natural disasters, and they seem to be piling up on top of one another. I think the end is coming soon. You may have your own opinion on that. In any case, we moved up to the hills, started a homestead, try to get prepared just for such things. So this porch is just an example of getting ready, getting prepared. I did what I could structurally, trying to design it and figure out how I can weather the storm. I think we all need to do likewise. Start with the simple things. Be sure you've got enough batteries on hand, water, you've got supplies, you've got food in store, your car's filled up. We really don't know what's ahead. Part of it is being emotionally prepared. What do we rely upon? What is it that we hold on to when things get tough? I know when the year before last, when the storm hit us, did a lot of praying, and I actually saw some miracles. Even though we lost this porch, I saw a tree come down. Right over here I saw it falling. I mean, the wind was blowing so hard. In fact, you could not come out here when the winds hit around 70. My wife, who's rather slight of build, she actually would have blown away. I actually had to hold on to her, and then got her back in the house, and I could barely stand out here. But then it got so severe, the pots were picked up off, and then trees were just bending, unbelievable. And then they started coming out of the ground. One of them was coming right down on the house, and I saw it as it was going, and I could see it was actually already flexed about this much, and then I saw it just come out of the ground and start coming right to the house. Well, the slope on the hill behind us is pretty steep. Well, the branches on the side of it here, it actually hit the hill, and it was coming right down on the house, and it hit the hill, and the branches stopped, and it stopped 6 inches away from the house. It was like, and then it just settled on the house. I was like, wow, that was miraculous. We saw our hot tub cover, which was all strapped down, and the wind just ripped that thing off like this piece of paper. Well, it was right behind our bedroom window, a huge window. The wind should have driven it right into the window, but it like turned 90 degrees and went off to the other side. That was incredible. The fact that the porch went up didn't really damage the house, other than ripping the edge off here and losing some tiles and things. But and it was pretty funny because a month before that I had said I really hated this porch. It was a poor design. I had structured it as much as I could, strapping it down, but it's like just wasn't beefy enough. And I didn't like the design anyway, but I said, well, God, we're going to live with it because that's what's here, and we don't want to waste money on anything else. The storm comes and just obliterates it. Pretty funny. But, the storm that's coming ahead isn't going to be funny for a lot of people. And I just urge you all to just think about it, whether it's this disaster or the disaster that comes after it. There will be disasters. There will be things coming ahead. And we just pray for all of you that you be prepared. Hopefully some of you can get out into some place where you can get self-sustaining. be able to grow your own vegetables. Have a place where you've got your own supply of water and electricity. Whether it's off the grid or on the grid, I'll get into a whole series on that. But anyway, as we go through this storm tomorrow, we'll be doing some praying that things go well. I really fond of getting this place put together. I hate to see it all tore up and trees falling on it. It's in God's hands, and what I still think about it, I put a lot of effort into this place. So as you go through the storms in life, prepare as best you can. But I just hope you'll put your trust at a higher thing than on yourself. And look up. There is a God, and He cares for us. And it's RH here. And sign off. Ostala Project. Oh boy. Ostala Projecto. I've had a lot on my mind. So sign off, and hope to see you in video soon. Oh, please subscribe if you're interested in getting prepared, if you're interested in getting relentless about homesteading, get relentless about preparation and prepping and learning these things. We're going to be going through so many things this next year in terms of the preparations. I'm going to show some food preparations. We're going to do a whole decision series on how to prepare, on how to decide about moving out, getting a homestead. A whole set of decisions there. So I hope you'll be with us. RH signing off. Ostale Projecto.